What's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho, and I'm bringing you guys a game on Hallow Ravine. This is the new map for the latest Combat Arms patch from last Thursday, August 25th. And as you can see, I'm trying to go snipers only, and I'll be using the DVI Falcon for the majority of the game, so it'll give you guys a good idea of how it performs for those of you who are wondering how well it does. So yeah, you guys can enjoy the gameplay. Where I left off last video was that I was about to discuss, or I was about to go in depth with the perk system of Combat Arms. It's the ability system. I'm talking about the brand new ability system that Combat Arms introduced with the last patch, and I'm just gonna call it the perk system. So just keep in mind, because I'm just so used to calling it perks from Call of Duty. So if you guys don't like calling them perks and instead just calling them abilities, then you guys can leave it in the comments below. Just tell me to say, oh, we prefer calling them abilities as opposed to perks, so that we don't get confused between Call of Duty and Combat Arms. So you guys can let me know, but for the time being, for this video, I'm just gonna call them perks for convenience sake. So the 3 perks that I'm using right now look to be resourceful. I believe that's what's that called? The one with the it looks like someone's putting their finger over their lips. I don't remember at the moment, but you guys can tell me what it is in the comment section below. I can't remember off the top of my head at the moment it's recording. And I'm also using a perk that's called Victory Lap. So what those perks do are they basically, just like in Call of Duty, they give your characters some bonus abilities that that you can activate, or if they're active, and you can constantly use if they're passive. And all 3 of them are passive right now. At the moment, I don't really know how to use the active abilities, so I'm still trying to figure it out. But if once I know how to activate them, those active perks, then I'll definitely use them, because some of those active perks look really interesting. But for the time being, I'm just using all passive abilities that can just do their thing without actually me having to press a button in order to activate their ability. So, like I said, the 3 perks that I'm using are resourceful. It's kind of like Ninja Pro from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It silences your footsteps whenever you walk, but it goes out of effect when you start sprinting, which makes sense, because you obviously make a lot more noise when you're running around. So that and Victory Lap. And resourceful, as some of you have probably seen in the preview trailer for this new fusion stage before they had actually patched it, it gives all enemy players a chance to drop. It gives all enemy players to drop a chance to drop those ammo packs, or like a full revive, just like you see from Cabin Fever or basically Fire Team. And it's really useful, because when you kill someone, you got a chance to kind of regain all your ammo back, or to regain all your health back. And it's not overpowering that they only have a chance. It only occurs like maybe, I want to say 1 out of 5 people, but with my luck, because this is based on luck, and I have really terrible luck to begin with. They haven't been dropping a lot for me lately, but they do definitely drop those items. And the cool thing is, you have 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds to pick them up, and if you don't get them, your teammates can get them. So it's kind of like a double advantage. If you can't get them, then your teammates certainly can. So that's why I rock it, and I like keeping it around, because it can help me and it can help my teammates. Because I'm a team player. I like taking one for the team. And the second perk I'm using is I'm just gonna call it Ninja Pro, because I don't know what it's called in Combat Arms at the moment. Maybe I'll put like an annotation once I figure out what it's actually called. But this Ninja Pro perk, I really like it, because in Combat Arms there was really no way to silence your footsteps, and if you really like the sound horror, if you really like to pay attention to your audio surroundings, then you know that your footsteps are pretty loud. And back in the day, I used to play Soldier Front, where K-walking or basically crouch walking was everything in Search and Destroy, or they call it team battles, or any objective game. And all the professional people, like all the pros, would K-walk because it would pretty much let you walk at the same speed as you would just pretty much run. There was no sprint. There's no sprinting in Soldier Front, and it would basically silence your footsteps, and so that people wouldn't know you were coming up. Like everybody did it, even like the noobs did it, because all the pros were doing it. But then in Combat Arms, you can't K-walk because when you try to K-walk, it's like slowing yourself down by a third. So no one does it because it's like sacrificing too much of your speed, so it's not worth it. And like it was really a big pain to constantly hear your own footsteps, so it really annoyed me in that respect. Like I got used to it, but then I always had the feeling like someone would always know where I'm coming from because I was walking and my footsteps would be so loud, and that I would have to walk like hold down C in order to completely nullify my footsteps. But now with this new ninja perk kind of like ability, now I don't have to worry about that as long as I just walk, and I'm completely fine with just walking and having no footsteps. I don't know if it completely reduces your it completely gets rid of your footsteps. I don't know if it just silences it to an extent that your enemies would really have to listen up really carefully in order to hear where you're going. So I don't know to what extent it's effective, but it's still pretty damn effective. Like I tried listening to my own footsteps when nothing was going on, and I couldn't hear it at all. So yeah, this is a really good perk for you guys who want to be really sneaky around the map, so I just suggest you try it out. Plus it's only passive, so you don't have to worry about pressing a silly button in order to get its effect. The next perk that I have is Victory Lap. Basically what it does is, if you get a multi-kill, you walk at the same speed as you would sprint. So basically you don't even have to hold down shift to sprint, because you're already sprinting to begin with, and you use up no sprint stamina in order to sprint like that. And I find that really helpful. I can't really show it here because I don't really get that many accolades like multi-kills, ultra kills, because that's what this perk depends on, those kinds of accolades. But because I'm really high on getting accolades, like I really care about getting accolades like that, those unbelievables, those fantastic, even those ultras. Multis I can accept, and it's like, oh, no big deal. But those ultras, I'm like, man, I wanna continue this on. I want to get that fantastic. I want to get that unbelievable. So that perk is really good for me because every time I get a multi-kill, it's going to allow me to sprint for a limited time without having to use any sprint stamina. That's basically all it comes down to. So I can reach more enemies faster and thus kill them faster for more and more accolades. That's my theory behind it. That's my reasoning behind it. That's why I equip it. Unfortunately, I've never been able to use it to its full extent, but hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully I'll get there. And in my last video, you might have noticed that I wasn't using the resourceful. Oh no, wait, hold on. I wasn't even resourceful. It was Victory Lap. I wasn't using Victory Lap in my last video, the short fuse video. What I was instead using was the steady hand. Kind of reminds me of the steady aim from Call of Duty, but they're not the same. But what the steady aim, what the steady hand does is it's kind of like Scout in Black Ops, in Call of Duty Black Ops. You get to hold your breath, and your aim becomes steadier. Basically, in Combat Arms, it reduces the idle sway. So whenever you kind of camp with a sniper rifle and you zoom in, you hard scope, and your scope kind of sways around to and fro, left to right. Basically what this perk does is it basically reduces all that idle sway. So it's basically having like the sniper scope just staying at one position all the time. That's really useful because for me, there were certain points where idle sway really threw my aim off. Like I'd be waiting for this guy to pop around the corner to shoot him, except because of the idle sway, I would miss. So those kinds of situations, I kind of wanted to avoid, was my word. So So that's why I equipped it, and don't get me wrong, it's a really good perk. I think it's more suited for those campers. Even though I do tend not to favor camping or just campers themselves. If you must camp, or if you just prefer camping, you don't like to run out there and get kills, you just like to sit back, give out some supporting fire, covering fire, sniper fire, whatever it is that you like to do, then the steady hand perk is going to be a really good perk for you, because you're not going to be running around, you're not going to have any use for your stamina, which was previously reserved for like sprint stamina, for sprinting. So you have plenty of stamina to use, and that's what steady aim uses as balancing issues. Steady aim uses, or not steady aim, steady hand, oh god, I'm gonna get these wrong all day. Steady hand basically sacrifices your stamina, your sprint stamina, in order to kind of hold your breath. So I imagine that once you run out of sprint stamina, you start to have idle sway. But for the time that you use up your you still have sprint stamina, that's also a nice collateral. Collateral for days. You get to have no idle sway, which is, in my opinion, a very good thing, because if you're a camper, you got no other use for that sprint stamina, and all you need to do in order to regain that sprint stamina back is just to unscope, and it'll start filling up again. And the cool thing is about the steady hand perk is that it doesn't use up stamina as fast as sprinting would. In fact, the sprint stamina bar reuses or refills itself faster than the steady hand perk uses up your stamina. So it's pretty good. I recommend you campers try it out, because especially with you guys with sniper rifles, because you guys will enjoy it. And but the reason why I'm not using it in this game is because of the fact that it uses up sprint stamina. I really want to reserve all my sprint stamina for sprinting, because I'm that rusher guy. I'm the kind of rusher quickscoper, so I need all the sprint stamina that I can have, especially on Hallow Ravine, because Hallow Ravine is a pretty wide open map. It's got lots of corridors, lots of places to kind of run to meet the enemy. Short Fuse is kind of like that middle-sized map where you can take a few steps and you can have a good chance that you run into some enemies right away. So that's why I use the steady hand perk in Short Fuse. And here though, I switched out for Victory Lap, so that I would maximize my sprinting. So yeah, that's it about the perks. About this map, Hallow Ravine, I've got mixed opinions about it, because right there, the cavern system in the middle of the map that overlooks all the spawn points and all the routes that lead from the spawn points are pretty OP. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty OP. I've played some games where I just sat in the middle cavern right there, where I'm going to right now, and just pretty much either sniped or G36E'd people who were trying to come into this middle cavern. We just held it down for days. So I don't know. I mean, at first I really liked this map, but I don't know now. It's really camp heavy. I've heard people say it's camp heavy, like there's lots of campers, and I'm not gonna lie, they're probably telling the truth. So yeah, I don't know what to say about this new map, Hallow Ravine. Like, it really reminded me of the map Bridge from Soldier Front, if you guys know what that map is. But looks like this game is wrapping up. I'm gonna say that I really enjoy Hallow Ravine right now, but I don't know, it could change. Peace out, guys.